own connection, our own conscious connection that makes our lives better. It makes our lives easier. And it allows us to feel safe being vulnerable. And I get to talk to the lovely and talented Jennifer Bloom today. Hello, JD.
Hello, JU. Love to chat.
Love to chat. It's always so much fun, and we chat all the time, but I think I can never get enough of you. Um, so let's start with the obvious. When was a time where you were like, hey, yeah, may God, we're like this?
I'm still working on that, to be completely and totally frank, because I've been thinking a lot about it as I was thinking about our conversation today. And I can look backwards and see the hand of God really, really easily. For example, I have three kiddos. I had two. My pregnancies were all great, but my first two labor and births were awful, which led to a lot of internal work for number three. I would not be in the business I'm in today if that hadn't happened. And those first two were they just were awful experiences. And to say, well, that was the hand of God feels a little bit, in that moment, feels a little bit weird. But when I look back, I can totally see how all of the dots get connected. And the more I look back and follow those dots, the more I then recognize in the moment, oh, hello, there you are, right? Even something as little or as, I shouldn't call it small or meaningless. So, I run a Friday group. And every Friday I give new content, and then we have an experience, blah, 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 blah. There was a Friday a couple months ago, and I sat down to connect and ask for content, and I kept hearing no. So I walked into group having nothing prepared, and it turned out that everybody had had a crappy week, and what we needed to do was have a conversation, share, and do an experience based on what everybody's experience was in the moment. And, right. So that connection point just is getting stronger and stronger for me to be able to say, yes, here it is. Here it is. I'm supported in everything that I do.
I love that. And your sharing is like, yeah, I can see how I often forget in the moment. Oh wait, there's God. I could take the moment past and go, oh yeah, here it is, and I forget about the little moments. I like the big moments. I like the grand gesture. I'm a kid of TV, right? So I forget about, oh wait, there's so many little moments of, I just had one yesterday. Like, I'm in the car and I turn away for a second, and I all of a sudden my head whips around and I'm like, oh shit, there's a car in front of me, right? Like, oh my God, right? There's just so many of those little tiny moments where I don't even acknowledge those little tiny moments. One moment, please. Where I don't acknowledge those, like this one, she's chewing the books. That I forget that how important those moments are, and how wonderful, and how if I just pause and go, not like, oh my God, thank you for saving my life, but oh my God, thank you for me being able to witness that moment in time and space is huge. And I think we're looking for those big ticket moments. We're looking for us to be saved, and we don't have to be saved because we're saved right now.
Exactly, right? Because those little moments let me be more vulnerable each and every day. And I mean, what person doesn't like the grand gesture?
I like the grand gesture.
I have a list. I have a list that would be really, really great to meet. And at the same time, to have that ability to just every day to really, truly embody the God's got my back in everything. And everything.
And how do you personally grow that relationship? Like, what's your process of being closer to the divine?
So for me, it's that acknowledgement that I am both this human being walking around on the planet, and then I'm also eternal, right? There's that part of me that's still part of divinity. So that's where my practice is right now, is really honoring that part, that intersection of both of us. And that's speaking probably language that doesn't really make a lot of sense, but because we're the same. right? So to be able to both connected to that divine and to the divine part of me, and then of course the great big goo that is the divine. And then, but really that's the space that I'm in right now, is that acknowledgement that there's two halves of me, and to be able to lean on both of those parts.
I love that. I think for me right now is really, it's remembering. It's not, you know, it's not allowing a little blip to derail me, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's really just being present, going, oh wait, why am I making something of this mean that it's not? And I think that part of that is over the last, 18 months, we've all had so many like trauma-induced moments that we're waiting for the next trauma. And it's just, going, wait, this is not a wave. This is not even a little blip. Like, wait, this is clear sailing. There's a phrase in flying. I don't fly, but I know the phrase called extreme clear, right? And which means there's not a cloud in the sky. Everything doesn't always have to be extreme clear to know that you're loved, supported, and protected. And I think that's what I'm always at the moment really embracing and building on that relationship with divinity. But of course, my sacred partnership, which is the energy that comes together between me and the divine. Of course, my energy is pioneer, so I'm always forging new roads. Yay, me.
Yay, yeah. I had an experience of the opposite of extreme clear. I was standing down on a riverbank. There was a beautiful bridge in the background, and there were all of these clouds in the sky, and it was sunset. And I thought, how much more beautiful is it at this moment, because all of the clouds are reflecting the light. We think we want things clear, but that's not necessarily how life goes, right? So,
and it's not necessarily the most beautiful picture.
Exactly, it isn't. It isn't. Yeah.
So, what would you suggest for someone who is wanting to deepen or is on this kind of path of having a relationship with divinity?
Well, without sounding like I'm selling something, one of the things that has completely shifted my relationship with the divine is knowing my sacred partnership languages.
Yeah.
Because and I think it's not even the languages themselves, but it's that acknowledgement that I am a drop of divinity. So my suggestion comes down to being able to say, what's the analogy that you get to use that you feel comfortable with in terms of acknowledging how you are interwoven with the divine? I grew up without any sort of religious dogma that, so I haven't had to get past anything or, but it can certainly belong to a religion or not. It's whatever you're most comfortable with, but really focusing on that interweaving, whatever that practice is.
I love it. So share with us a little bit about what you do and your website, please.
Absolutely. So I help people create more of what they want. I focus a lot in the money abundance area, and really looking at money from a soul perspective, and looking at what our soul-based relationship is with money, and how we can strengthen that relationship so that we can have more peace and less emotional load with the money that money tends to bring us. And I am at jenniferbloom.com. Great.
And not to be biased, everyone, but she's one of the best. Like, I'm a brat. There's few people I call, I'm close to the chest, and you're one of the people that I call. So, you have a way of putting things and reminding me and providing such great questions and insight that I go, oh, crap. Yeah, I should have seen that. But I'm glad you did, because now I can move on. So thank you so much for being that amazing force in my life.
It's an honor and a privilege, and it's reflected right back at you.
Yay. So everybody, you've been watching Stories with the Divine, and I'm Jennifer Urezzio. If you want to learn more about me, you can log on to soullanguage.us, and if you are interested in creating a conscious connection with your soul, you can log on to soullanguage.us/find your connection. Okay, everyone, bye for now. We'll be back next week.